Hey guys, welcome. I'm Jenna and today we're giving a whole bunch of products one last shot. So in my declutter series, I had put aside a whole bunch of products that I wasn't really sure about, and today we are putting them to the test. So I'm hoping to make up my mind about a lot of these products. Some of them I might give another couple of tries, but for the most part I'm hoping to get rid of some, and a couple I've already made my mind up on because I have used them or just thought on it basically. The first one is the J1 primer, J-Own primer, I have no idea. This one. This is a little bit confusing. So I've had a look at this and I'm not going to use this as an actual primer because even though it says concentrated multifunctional primer gel and it says primer on the front of it there, on the back it's purely just skincare instructions. So this I am not going to declutter, but I am going to use it as part of my skincare routine. So I'm going to put this in my little skincare drawer and start using it and then make a decision, because I think if I'm using it just as a makeup primer, it's not giving it a fair go. I might just skip primer then. And I also haven't moisturized because the next product is the Flower Get Real Serum Foundation. So this one I just focus on that. This one I just could never get a lot of coverage, and I hear people say that it's got nice coverage, it looks really pretty on the skin, but I just can't get it to work. So when I was decluttering, I noticed that it had settled kind of all on the actual glass, so I'm just going to give it a really good shake up and hopefully get some coverage out of this bad boy. My hair is insane today, by the way. I've had couple of hours sleep. All right, so I'm going to use a couple of pumps. It is a serum foundation, so it's going to be super watery. I should have washed all this soot off my hand. Right off the bat, I think I'm getting more coverage than what I did last time. Like, it's looking a lot nicer than what it did the first couple of times. So I'm thinking I was supposed to shake it up and I just didn't, or I didn't shake it up well enough, because I'm definitely getting more coverage. I actually don't mind that. I'm just going to have a closer look. Okay. This is another reason I'd say why I didn't like it. So I'll move that out of the way again. What I'm noticing is it is just clinging to pretty much everywhere on my nose. Let me just zoom you in actually. So can you see it clinging on my nose? And it's settling into pores as well. It's just not very flattering on my skin. It may look nicer if I were to really prep my skin, like really put a lot of moisture into it, but this is quite a hydrating formula anyway, and I don't really want to be putting something super hydrating underneath and then putting this over the top. And I'll zoom you out. And I feel like with serum foundations, they're one of those foundations where you shouldn't have to put a primer on underneath. Like, you should be able to get away with not wearing a primer unless you have, you know, particularly large pores and everything settles into them. I'm just not loving this. So this is going to be one that I'm actually going to get rid of. So next product is concealer, and I have two concealers here. So I'm going to apply one to each eye. It's not like I'm going anywhere. So I figured I would apply one to each eye, see how I feel about them, and then make a decision. So I'll start with the DB Skin Renew one first. This was one that I just felt was really drying under my eyes. My under eyes are pretty hydrated at the moment, so we'll see. The shade is off as well. I'm not going to use the little sponge on the end. I will just use my fingers. That doesn't really feel like it gave me much coverage. It may have taken some of the darkness away. I might just do another little bit. So it has definitely cancelled out some of the darkness. It's a very thin formula, so I'm not expecting it to be super high coverage anyway. And from memory, it wasn't super high coverage. I am surprised by this. I thought I was going to dislike it more than what I do. So I think this one will be one that I need to keep trying. So I'm going to keep that here and I'll keep trying it over the next few days or whatever. And then the next one is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. Like I said in my declutter video, I don't think this is a bad concealer, but this might be the wrong shade. So this is purely just to test out the shade, whether I can get away with it, whether it's going to be too light for me. Because this is the shade Fair, and I don't have a fair skin tone. So I don't know why I picked out Fair. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in the last video, in the declutter video as well. I don't typically go for concealers that are brightening. I just go for them to like blend in with everything. I just think it makes my eyes look a lot smaller if I'm using a brightening concealer. It just looks a bit funny. See, that's not looking too bad at the moment either. Okay. All right, this is another one that I'm going to keep here, and I'll just alternate between the two and see if I like them. Cool. This is going better than what I thought it was. All right, I'm not up to this step yet, but this is one that I have already used, and it's sitting right there on the top of this little box here. So this is the Lily Loves. It's just a liquid eyeshadow. This is one that I'm going to get rid of. I tried this on yesterday, and I just didn't really like how it looked. It didn't build up on the eye very nicely. It didn't give me that ethereal look that I was expecting out of this, and it didn't actually dry down. It kind of stayed tacky on my lids, which I didn't enjoy. So this one is going to go. So the next product is the Flower Blush Bomb in the shade Pinched. This is a liquid blush. I was really disappointed with this one because it just kind of blends out to nothing. I got this product because Jessica Braun raved about it, and she said that it was beautiful. And it was a really pretty shade and, all of the things that I wanted. And then I purchased it and I didn't like it. Can you see how it's just not really showing up at all? Like it's basically just blended out to nothing. And I couldn't understand what she was talking about because I was like, this blush does nothing. And then she had said in like a fairly recent video that she also thought that they had changed the formula. So I'm glad that it wasn't just me hating on a blush that she highly recommended, because I love her recommendations. I mean, it's giving me like a glossy sort of look to the skin, but there is no pigment. It is just, I got my brush, don't need it because it just blended out to nothing, and you can't build it up. I've already tried that before. You can't build it because it doesn't set down. So if you try and build it up, it just kind of removes the product you've already put down. I am going to layer another blush on top of it afterwards, but that one's a powder one. So I'm going to move on to setting powder. And the one I'm going to use is the DB Hydra Set. If you saw my declutter video, you probably saw the amount of powder that came off this. And that is one of the contributing factors to why I'm thinking of getting rid of it. It's just too messy. And while it is an okay powder, I have other powders that I prefer. So we will just try this one. I'm going to set under my eyes to begin with. See, that looks nice under the eyes, and it and it's kind of, it's blurring as well, but that is just going everywhere. Okay, they need to figure out a better way to store this, because this is ridiculous. Honestly, it's so powdery, and it is such a pain to use purely for the storage. I'm contemplating whether I should just get rid of it. If I can't find a better way to store this, I'm going to get rid of it. So, I was meant to powder my cheeks because I'm going to put bronzer on. The next one is the DB Get Glowing Pressed Mineral Bronzer. This one, I just felt like it didn't build up. I couldn't get enough like on my brush, and it just wouldn't build up on my face. You can see it on my face, but I'm just like, I'm really having to swirl in here just to get any sort of cover. My God, I told you I was sleep deprived. Color payoff. And I have so many other bronzers that I don't have to work as hard for. I'm too lazy for this type of bronzer. And I could use a denser brush. Let me just try. This is what I will quite often use for bronzer as well. Let's see if this works over the top. Yeah, again, like it's not bad. It's just, it's too much effort for my liking. That's all. And the formula of it it's not more amazing than most other bronzer formulas that I've tried. So that one I'm also going to get rid of. So the next product is a powder blush. So this is the Flower Beauty Flower Pots Powder Blush. This one I got on discount, so it was like in one of those clearance bins at Chemist Warehouse, and I thought it was going to be a nice glowy blush, which it is a nice glowy blush. However, it's a lot more glowy than it is blushy. So just gonna apply it. Do you see how reflective that is? It's a bit too glowy even for my liking. I wonder if that's a bit of an overspray, and then the more you get into it, the more blushier it is. Let me just dig in here a bit. No, it's still pretty glowy. Okay, I'm just gonna go on this side, just with the bit that I kind of dug into a bit more. Yeah, I'm not 100% sold on this one, so again, I think that's going to be another one that I will finally declutter. But the next one is the DB Absolute Feather 4-tip brow pen. This from memory just didn't last very long, but we'll see, because it could have also been another one that I was thinking of, because I had tried the Emco Beauty one, and that one was terrible. So I may just be thinking about that one instead. I might just brush up my brows first and see how we go with this. Yeah, see how it's not really working now in this lid, this eyebrow? I'll shake it up and I'll see if that helps. Yeah, like it's just it's just run out now. Try it again. All right. I think the issue is having it like not sitting down. The ink just kind of runs out of the tip of the pen, but this I'm having a lot of trouble like just trying to get much out of it. I'm not a fan. So this one is going to go as well. I don't even have to like finish them or tidy them up properly to know that I will not be using that product again. Next, I'm going to move on to eyeshadow, and I've got a few different eyeshadows that I'm going to be using. So I've got all of these little AOA individual ones, and then I've also got an eyeshadow palette, which is the MCO Beauty Paradise Escape Mega Eyeshadow Palette. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime my lids. So I'm going to just use the NYX, just the potted primer. I'm going to start with that one, and then I think I'm going to use some of the AOA shadows. Alright, my eyes are all primed, and I'm going to go in with, what shade is this? 247 Secret. This is like a really warm brown, like a matte brown shade. I think what I'll do is I'll use an applicator brush first, just to apply it, and then I'll use a different brush to blend it out. I think that might be the way to go. I did actually have to get rid of a couple of these because they, oh bless you, because some of the mattes had actually dried out in the pots already. So I got rid of, it was either 2 or 3, I can't really remember. That's blended out pretty nicely, and it's not feeling super tacky on the lid either. So that's a nice surprise. I think these products, if you have oily eyelids, I don't know if you would love these, unless you're using unless you have a foolproof eye primer that you use that, you know, nothing gets through. But these, they haven't sort of set down 100% into a powder, I don't think. But it's looking pretty nice. I just want to see if I can build it up a little bit. So I don't think these are going to come off super opaque. Like, they're still looking a little bit sheer on my lid. But for these, I want them to be a little bit more opaque, I guess, like on the actual lid. But I mean, they don't look bad. They look pretty nice, actually. All right, let's just see if I can layer something over the top. So I might try another one of these. I might see if I can just build this up. I'm just going to put this same shade on the outer corner to see if I can build it up a bit more, because I don't have another matte that would go, because this is quite orange. So I'm just going to see if I put it directly on my brush, if I can build it up a bit and blend it into the crease. Yeah, see, I feel like you can't build them up. Like, they get to a certain amount of opacity before they just won't build up anymore. So you can see, like, it looks like I've built it up a little bit there. But then as soon as I go to blend it, it just kind of like blends away. It doesn't stay opaque. All right, I'm going to have to just stop messing about with that, because it's going to end up all patchy and weird if I keep going. I mean, it has built up a little bit, but not really what I want it to build up as. I think I will use this one kind of like all over the lid, really. This is the shade Cherish, and I'm just going to put this on my finger and then just tap it. All right, I am actually really liking the shimmer formula of these, not so much the matte formula. I will have to see if this creases. It feels like it has dried down pretty well. I'll leave that note down in the description box for you though, and let you know whether it does actually, whether it creases or not. For under my eyes, because I feel a little bit bare, I think I'm just going to put that same orange shade underneath. Cool, that's a really orange eye look, but I'm liking it. So I've only got 2 products left. I'm not going to use this one. I might just use it and see how I feel about it on another day. So the next product is a mascara, and it's the Maybelline Full and Soft mascara. I just felt like this didn't do anything to my lashes, and I felt like I needed to put so much of it on just for my lashes to even look black. So I'm just gonna see. Yeah, see what I mean? Like, it just doesn't really do anything. It has made my lash line look darker, but that's mainly because it's gone onto my waterline and my actual lash line, which I can do that with liner anyway. Yeah, it's just a very meh mascara. I've just got other mascaras that I prefer over this one, so I think I'm going to get rid of that one as well. So the last product that, well, I've got 2 lip products. I've got the Juvia's Place liquid lipstick in the shade Shakara, and then I've got the e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss to try. So this, although it would go well with this eye look, sorry, I'm holding my baby's hand. I just feel like this always looks weird on my lips, but we'll try it anyway. You see how orange that, okay. I've just sheared that out kind of as much as I can, but I'm just not loving the shade. I'm going to put this plumping gloss over the top. I think I'm just going to get rid of both of these because it's just not suited to my skin tone, and even though I've sheared it out as much as I can, I'm still not loving the look of it. And then the gloss, it's mainly just the shade for me. I think this shade, it just looks milky on the lips. It doesn't actually really lighten anything too much. So I think I'm going to get rid of that one as well. And that's all of the products. I think I'm going to use this fixing spray, even though it's not a setting spray. I'm still going to use it. Whoop! Oh, it smells nice though. And then I'm just going to go over the top with my beauty sponge. This is a dry beauty sponge. So I do feel like the setting spray, sorry, the fixing spray has toned down the gold highlightery look of that this blush, but I still don't like it enough to keep it, so I still think I'm going to declutter it. And I've decluttered pretty much everything here. The only things that I'm not decluttering out of my collection are the primer, DB Hydra Set powder. That is only pending whether I can find a better way to store this. If I can't find a better way to store it, it's going, because I can't deal. And then the other thing is the MCO Beauty Paradise Escape Mega Eyeshadow Palette. This one I'm going to keep for now. You can't see anything because it's just reflecting off the light. This I'm keeping for now, just because I haven't had a chance to use it today. And then if I use it and I decide I don't like it, then I'll declutter. And then these eyeshadows, the velour eyeshadows, if these don't crease, they're staying. If they crease, they're going. Okay, so this was a pretty productive day. I'm happy about that. So that is it from me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe if you haven't already, if you would like to, of course. But other than that, thank you again, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.